Hello, my name's Hayden Schmidt. I'm a technology integration specialist with Alvin Independent School District. And today we're going to take a look at Gimkit and how we can add questions that are coming from another question bank. So let's take a look at that. I'm starting at the Gimkit Live page, and I'm going to select Gimkit Live. And I'm going to choose to edit one of the question banks that we used earlier to just look at adding questions. But I'm going to choose edit here. And this time I'm going to add from a question bank instead of just clicking add a question. So I'm going to add from a question bank. And the question bank that I'm going to look up is going to be clearly searchable by keyword. And because my kit was titled Test Question Bank 2, those are the words that are going into my search. But let's say, for instance, I'm looking for questions on atomic structure. Let's see if I can find anything having to do with atomic structure. And as I go down the list, I can take a look and see immediately that this one has 32 questions. I can see some of the questions there and see if they're the kind of thing that I'm looking for. This one only has 10, 14, 19, 55 questions in that bank, 63 here. And I'm looking for a nice rich bank. And I want something that I think is going to be appropriate for whatever age level students I'm looking for, right? So I hate to, make a judgment here, but here's a good one. This is a nice middle of the road kind of atomic structure. 35 questions, and I have the ability to just come over here and pick individual questions that I want to add. So if I like a few questions out of this question bank, and I like a few questions out of this question bank, watch, I can add this question, and I'll add this question, and I'm not really paying attention, but let's say I'm just in love with that one. And then from this one, I want to add this question, and this question, and no study of atomic structure would be complete without this other randomly selected question that I'm adding to my question bank. So there, I've added those questions. Let's hop back up here and take a look. Now my question bank includes all of the pieces that I've added from the individual that I just searched and selected out of other question banks, and my original first colony in North America that has nothing to do with valence electrons. But additionally, I think you would have noticed that when I was adding from a question bank, and let's go back and take a look at some American history question banks just to confuse the issue a little bit further. If I am interested in doing so, I can add all questions on the right-hand side here with one click. Add all questions to the bank, and bam, it's done. So now, all of a sudden, I have added 70 questions with a click. Now, there's no vetting involved in that process, right? So I generally would encourage you to take a look and pick the individual questions that you know and like, and even like the way they're phrased and asked, and like the way that they're structured, to add specifically to your Gimkit in order to keep from having to create every single question necessarily. But keep in mind that creating your own questions is going to be the way to get exactly the feedback that you want from your students. It's going to let you customize and ask questions precisely directed at your teaching. Whereas if you go to the question banks, while it is a great convenience, it may or may not be customized exactly for what was taught in your classroom. So you should pick and choose in order to be specific and intentional about the questions that you're asking your students and including in your kit. I hope that this little look at how to go and get questions from other kits and add them to a kit as part of the editing process was useful to you, and that you'll be back to watch some of the other videos on Gimkit. Thanks very much. Have a great day.